Southwick Wood, and good morning to you all. It's a choice now really of going around the edge of the wood or going straight down the middle. People have warned me it's very muddy, so a bit of a toss of a coin really. Let's go for the mud, he said bravely. Oh, holy moly. Yeah, not so good. Yeah. Time for a rewind. Right, take two. Don't try this at home, children. I'm going over the fence. Ah, too early for mud. Right, start again. Good morning all, and welcome to Southwick Wood. I did get some warnings this place was very muddy. Very muddy to the point of people turning back. I even had one chap say the orchids aren't here this year, which I can't deal with that at all. They must be here. I've just made it a bit trickier to find them now because I'm going around the edge of the wood and I've got to find the right place to dive back in again, but there'll be something here. There always is, so I'm confident we'll find something. Must be getting close to where we need to get into the woods now, which might be easier said than done. Right, let's dive in. We've got to be close if I don't get wet here. No idea where we are now. Oh, spot on. I can definitely see orchids in the distance. That was a good guess. Very nice. That's a nice, don't know what you call that, pink and white. Back in the mud. I don't think I've ever seen Southwick Wood as beaten up as this. It really is a quagmire. Right, clambering through the woods. I recognise this path. This is usually the point at which I say I don't know where I'm at, but I do because I've been down here many a time. So I should be heading around to where the main Early Purple Orchid site is. Actually, there's just a few down there. Actually, I'll come back that way. I won't miss them. Apologise for my penguin voice this morning. It's remnants of man flu, which has gone apart from the silly voice. Back in the swamp. It's a nice little group of 3. Nice little bouquet of standard coloured early purple orchids. Fully open as well. That's quite nice. Well, whoever said they weren't here anymore, they most definitely are. Pretty much as they were last year. On this, the main site that's coming up. Looking good. Still a lovely site. Early purples and bluebells. There's 1 or 2 nice paler forms. Nothing spectacular yet, but slightly better than the norm. It's quite a rich purple. Not quite fully open, that'd be quite nice if it was. Another of the slightly paler form. Probably about as good as we're going to get today, I think, in terms of colour variation. Some nice markings on that one. That is a very nice one. That's the best on site so far. A lovely pale pinkish form. That's nice. It's a bit battered, that one. Looks like it's been trampled a little bit. I managed to prop it up a bit and it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit beaten. Otherwise that would be easily the best we've seen. Very, very pale soft pink. Yeah, it's a pity being in the wars. It's a nice bubblegum pink early purple orchid. Yeah, certainly a good show. I'd say it's better than last year. They're just about at their peak, I would say. There's a few still in bud, but most of them are very close to their peak. You haven't got the extreme variance we saw here about 4 years ago, where we had a couple of white ones and some fantastic, very pale forms. But there's some softer colours. There's a little bit of variation, but as was the case last year, it's mostly standard early purples, but still a great sight and good to see. I'm going to move on now and see if I can find those I saw on the way in and said I'd go and pick them up on the way back. I'll probably lose them now, but we'll have a go. But yeah, good show. Happy with that. I quite like that one. It seems to have lost its white throat in places. It's almost pure purple. That's quite nice. I can see some colour in there. Just got to get in there somehow. Don't want to kill too many bluebells. That is the rare white throat with no spots on variation, which is completely made up by me. It's slightly unusual. There are spots on the bottom flower, but there's no spots running up the white throat of that middle one. I'm trying hard here to find something different. Quite nice. It was somewhere down this path, I'm sure it was. Can't find them. Oh, there's something in there. Ooh. Orchid alarm has gone off. I think it's only one plant. There might be a couple. It's a pity that's not just open a little more. It's got some growing to do, I think, in future seasons, but it will be a very nice pale form. Not too dissimilar to the one in front of it. Tangled up with a bluebell. I always thought there must be more than just one, if you like, hotspot colony of early purples here. It's a big wood, and I've stumbled across another one which is quite exciting. It's not that there's anything too exciting here, but there's certainly plenty of plants, and I should definitely be, if I can remember how I found this in the first place, I shall definitely be checking it out in future years. There's quite a collection here, and I've not finished with it yet either. That is almost very, very nice indeed. In fact, it is very nice indeed. Just needs to be a bit bigger. And still they keep coming. Definitely going to have to put a marker on this one. I think there's more here than there were in the traditional hotspot. That's nice as well. There's a lot of pale forms on this patch. That's very nice. That is very, very nice. Right, back on the path that I was on originally. That was a nice collection. I've not seen those before. And there they are, on the left up in front, and on the right up in front. Nothing much down in this, well, with this little group. It's probably the pick of the bunch. Always a beautiful sight, this little area. Launches the orchid season every season for me. trying to find a way out of here now that avoids the mud. Gotta get back out onto that field edge, which isn't easy. Collecting a few scratches. Get through there. Ooh. Oh, I just made that. Right. Oh, it's warming up now. Summer's on the way. Good heavens. Good heavens, I've never seen that before. We have some big early purple orchids, or a big early purple orchid outside of the wood. I've never seen that before. Brilliant. Never seen that before here. It's obviously been here for a while because it's actually going over at the bottom. It's pretty much right alongside the hot spot inside the wood, so it's kind of spread outwards and acts as a good marker if you do walk this way, although I missed it on the way out, so if you're a bit more observant than I am, it more or less tells you where you've got to go in. There's a nice little spotty one down here. Very nice. Well, there you go, that's it. The traditional seasonal opener at Southwick Wood. I thought it's pretty good actually. I thought it was better than last year. Definitely better than last year. Greater numbers. Haven't got those spectacular variants that we saw a few years ago, but there's a few young ones there that could certainly evolve in the seasons to come into something special. No whites or anything of that nature, but some nice pale ones and some nice sort of patterns that could become, dare I say it, clonkers in years to come. Good numbers, and finding that second patch just now, that's quite exciting because I've always just thought, why is there only one patch of early purple orchids here? And I have walked the woods before quite thoroughly and got lost many times, but to find that second patch, that was really good. I've just got to remember where it is. I think I can do it. I shall plot it when I get home on a map so I'm ready for next year. But yeah, that was a good trip and I enjoyed that, and the orchid season is now officially open. Right, what's next? Well, I'm nervously watching the weather forecast at the moment because I've got a couple of really good trips next week that I'm looking forward to. Only day trips, but they're outside of this area. Again, targeting early purple orchids, but in a pretty spectacular setting. But I need the weather. I need the weather to be okay. At the moment it's looking, I think the word is inclement, but as we get closer to next week, maybe they'll harden up and there might be a day or two when it's dry. So there's an early purple session I'm really looking forward to. Should be really good. I've always wanted to go there. And what's the other one? Yeah, green-winged orchids. They should be more or less out. I would say next week is their peak, is my guess. That's what I've planned. I'd normally have gone by now, but you know, I don't want to see them still in bud. I want to see them close to their peak. And judging on the photographs I've seen on Facebook, I think that'll be next week. And again, I'm going outside of this area, only a little bit further afield to a new site. I will do Mary's Meadows, I'm sure, one evening in the next fortnight, but the first green-winged orchid trip will be somewhere new. And I'm looking forward to that one as well because it's a place with a high reputation. So yeah, orchid season is up and running. Just pray for some more days like this next week and I can get out and get things moving. But I'll get there one way or another, and one day or another. So I will see you then. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your coronation weekend. God save the King.